Welcome Lund loyalists to John Lund Unleashed. Those watching on YouTube, on the John Lund Unleashed and Bay Area Sports Collective channels. Viewers on X, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook, and Lundos listening to the podcast on Apple and Spotify. John Lund Unleashed, brought to you by 𝐟𝐸𝐴PEL Sports Medicine. Got pain? Check out our revolutionary stem cell treatments. And guys, if low T is bringing you down, 𝐟𝐸𝐴PEL Sports Medicine can put you back in the game. Now all juiced up and ready to go, here's Johnny.
Yes, early start back to the old time for just today. Heading down to Santa Clara. So I got about 35 minutes today, and then I got to head down because traffic can be a mother going down to Santa Clara from where I am in the East Bay. The guys are on the field about 10:25, which means I got to be down there about 10 o'clock to canoodle and do all those kind of things and say hello for day one of Niners training camp, and then from down there I'll find a safe spot so that I can give you a full report from day one. As you can see right there, John and Kyle spoke yesterday, and I've got a few minutes from the opening monologue from the questions about the wide receivers, which I told you about yesterday was going to be the number one thing that everyone is going to ask right out of the gate. So day one, wide receiver drama, and you can see Brandon AIYUK, Jauan Jennings, Ricky Pearsall. That's what they asked about right out of the gate, did the media, so we'll review that. Also, all the jobs that are going to be open for or on the defensive side of the ball, we'll get into that conversation as well. So day one storyline is really going to be about the defense after the wide receivers. On my way down, so like I said, we'll be quick today as we go back to the old start time and do a show later so we can make up for it. And I'll tell you what happened in day one. The Giants win, the Giants win, the Giants win the pennant. Okay, they don't win the pennant, but they do win 9-0. Rafael Devers makes his debut at first base. When you're desperate, it's like, hey, bro, we know that maybe you don't feel your best, but it is time to once and for all solve first base. And actually, Rafael Devers after the game said, you know what, it's nice because he doesn't really want to be a full-time DH. He played third base for the majority of his time with the Red Sox, and he likes being able to play defense and offense and not just sit on the bench and be half a player. And so you kind of saw it last night where he was a full player and he enjoyed it. And he said after the game that he did enjoy being in the field. So maybe they've solved first base and maybe it goes on and 𝐃𝐨𝐲 hit a home run. And so yesterday, and I can't remember who, I owe somebody an apology today. Short term, we'll see long term what happens. But somebody said, hey, so 𝐃𝐨𝐲's not the second baseman. And I said, hey, we need a longer sample size on 𝐃𝐨. Well, all 𝐃𝐨 did yesterday was hit a home run. So at least for the day, I owe an apology whoever called me out on 𝐃𝐨. And I am a man of, look, I can admit when I'm wrong. So short term, I was wrong. Long term, we'll see. But 𝐃𝐨 hits a home run last night. Devers plays well at first base. Landon ROUPP has taken hold of the number 3 spot in the rotation. So we'll get into that very quickly as well. Jeff Passan's got an idea. Those are not 2-2-2s. Those are Z's. I wouldn't be overly excited about it. The Dodgers goof last night was hilarious. Ozzy passed away right after we got off the show. Has anyone gone out better than what Ozzy did? Basically, a couple of weeks ago, they have the Black Sabbath reunion thing, and all these great artists go up there, and then Ozzy passes away like 2 weeks later. That's a pretty good way to go out. Random things. I don't have a caboose today because we've got to hurry up, and I got to get out of here and get down to Santa Clara. So no caboose today, but I will make it up to you. And again, I'll do a show later on from Santa Clara to give you day one highlights from everything. So make sure you have your alerts on later. It is John Lund Unleashed. We are doing the early version of the show because I got to head down to Santa Clara. So if you're like, what the hell, bro? I did post this early last night so that everybody knew. I tried to give you an alert on this whole thing. I put it out on X at John Lund Radio. Tried to give you an alert on that as well. So again, if you're jumping in going, dude, you said it was 9 o'clock. I get it. Normally it's going to be 9 o'clock, but like I said, I'm heading down to Santa Clara the next few days. So we're going to have to do early shows the next few days just because I'm heading down to Santa Clara. And it takes me, again, traffic in the South Bay. It could take me an hour. It could take me 2 hours. So I got to plan accordingly, and I got to be down there by right around 10. So you never know how long it's going to take from where I am in the East Bay. So we got to do this thing quickly today. So it is episode 198, and we're going to kick it off with John and Kyle talking receivers in just a second, which is what I promised you yesterday. But good morning. And again, I'll give you a full report from training camp later. Keeping the faith. Good morning to you. Valve Oil, it is good to see you. Eric, good morning, good morning, good morning. Is it Eric? Do I owe you the apology? No, Eric is from Seattle. By the way, Eric, I was on in Seattle with Ian yesterday. I don't know if you caught me, 2 o'clock straight up every Tuesday on KJR in Seattle with my good friend Ian Furness. Jake is here. Joy, good morning to you. Look at nobody's getting up early. Oh, good morning, Pine Needle. It is nice to see you. So look, some people are like, oh yeah, I got up early. Other people are like, dude, the show's at 9. What are you doing? So anyway, like I said, today, tomorrow, Friday, we're going to do early shows because I've got to head down to Niners HQ and day one of camp today, which I'm absolutely excited about. So that's what we got going on today. I will say hello to people as they jump in the room this morning. But again, good morning, good morning, good morning. Heading down early on early today because I've got to head down to 49ers HQ for day one of training camp, and I'll do what everybody does. I'll shoot video for you. I'll get interviews for you. We'll shoot stuff back. We'll do all that kind of stuff, and we'll see what the big storylines are. But again, as you're jumping in here today, the storyline obviously yesterday, and I told you this, all the questions were going to be about wide receivers. AIYUK, Jennings, Pearsall, that was going to be all about yesterday. Today, I'm going to go to the defensive side of the ball, but let me give you a few minutes real quick. John and Kyle, this is how the press conference started yesterday, and we knew what it was going to be, and I told you what it was going to be. There was going to be all questions about the wide receivers. So if you missed it, let me play the first 3 minutes of the press conference yesterday, all about the wide receivers. So here's an update on, I think it starts with AIYUK, goes to Pearsall, then goes to Jennings. I think that's the order. I could be wrong, but here you go. Here's an update on all 3 guys.
Which ones do you expect to be cleared to practice tomorrow? And specifically, Ricky Pearsall, what's his situation?
Yeah, I think we put them on PUP, all these guys, for a reason. When they took their physicals, they weren't deemed to be ready on that specific day. In some instances, they'll come off relatively quickly. It's kind of a ramp-up situation where they've been away. We want to assess them. We want to get them off to the side and kind of build them up, abundance of caution. And that also preserves the right, in some cases with PUP, NFI to use that at the roster cut. But in some of these instances, we anticipate it being short-term. Ricky would be one of those.
Is there a possibility he could practice tomorrow?
He likely won't. You'll see him out there off to the side, likely.
Ricky had a bad hamstring in OTAs. I mean, not real bad, a normal one. He's good now. He's hit all his miles per hour. He's fine. We just haven't seen him the last 2 weeks. We're not going to throw a wide out there the first 3 days. We don't want to pull it again until we see his conditioning and everything, which we should get in 3 days, and then he should be good.
Was it a partial tear, like a grade 2?
Where do things stand with Jauan Jennings, and what is kind of the plan to work things out?
Jauan's reported took his physical yesterday. We anticipate, I won't speak for Jauan, but had a good visit with him. Anticipate him being out there. You guys know our feelings on JJ. He embodies what we think a Niner's all about. Plays the right way, and we love him. And I think all that stuff, we're not going to get into the contract talks and all that. That takes care of itself. But, we love him, and he's here.
So is there dialogue about a contract extension? Is that?
We love him, and he's here.
Gone through, obviously, what we all know went on last season, last training camp. Is there some disappointment that there is at least public discussion about this? Is there some ultra motivation to make sure it doesn't happen like it happened last year?
No, it's kind of a sign of the times. It's just, it happens. And I think every team has this. We're probably hyper-focused on our team. And, like I said, I told you what we feel about Jauan. He's an integral part of this team and a guy we'd like to have around here for a long time.
For wide receiver questions, what's the latest sense of Brandon AIYUK and when he could resume practicing, and any more information on Demarcus Robinson and whether he'll be suspended to begin the season?
Yeah, that's a league matter as with respect to Demarcus, and we'll let that play out. The league will handle that. We knew there was a possibility when we signed Demarcus and have accounted for that. So we'll see. That's a legal matter that is playing out. With respect to BA, he did a lot to his knee, and I would tell you that he's in really good place considering all that. Now, what does that mean in terms of a timeline and all that? we're continuing to assess and get information. He did a lot of his rehab away from here. And so, I think when you get these guys back, there's all kinds of objective measurements that you want to do. And so he'll be working on his rehab and with our guys. And I think we're encouraged on where he's at, but not anywhere close to having a set in stone timeline.
All right, so there you go. There's just a bit of the beginning, because that was the big storyline. And again, I'll give you the cover of the show today as I'm heading down to Niners camp day one, and that's where we're on early. And we're going to do a quick show for you. And then what I'll do is I'll find a spot in Santa Clara, but wide receiver drama. And you heard about AIYUK, Jennings, and PEARSALL. And by my calculations, it's not great news, because there was some speculation, hey, maybe Brandon AIYUK for week one. Well, I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but when the opening press conference says we don't even have a timetable, we don't know. And you can just tell by John Lynch is, I'm not going to call him a bad liar, but between the two, and you probably know this, but I'll just remind you because it's the first day of camp, Kyle Shanahan is kind of the truth teller, and he'll tell you not only by his words, but by his face. And John Lynch is better at playing the cards to the vest, but also if you just listen by the tone of John Lynch's voice, you can certainly tell a lot. And you could just tell because he dismissed the question so quickly that, look, they don't even have a timetable, and they're not even sure on Brandon AIYUK. So as we sit here right now, nearing the end of July, what are we on, the 23rd of July today? That they're not even close. And so we're 6 weeks or so away from the opener, and they don't even have a timetable. So I don't think Brandon AIYUK's playing. I think he'll probably be on the PUP to start the year, which means 4 games. Remember, PUP in right now versus PUP during the season. When you cut down to 53, then you go on the PUP, then it's 4 games, not now. And then you heard the explanation on Ricky Pearsall. It was a fairly significant hamstring injury, as Kyle Shanahan kind of let out of the bag there. So they think Ricky in the first few days, and I told you this the other day, that when guys come back and they haven't had a chance to evaluate them, they automatically put them on the PUP list so that they don't, they're not running out there and everything, and they want to evaluate them, they'll put them out. That's where they are with Ricky Pearsall. So I'm not overly worried. In fact, I'm not worried at all on Ricky Pearsall, because I was told by somebody that it's okay. So Pearsall, I'm not too worried about. And then Jennings, we're going to find out when we get down there today. So again, a good thing to do, follow my X page, at John Lund Radio on X. And just like everybody else, the minute we either do or don't see, and this will be a big storyline today, maybe number one, Jauan Jennings on the field, that will tell us a lot. Is he a hold in? He's not a hold out, because they told you in that clip that I just played for you that Jauan Jennings is there. And he cut the questions off very, very quickly, which makes me believe that he probably isn't going to practice today, because there was like half a question came out of somebody's mouth, and he said, we love him. We love him. We love him. Like, and I just hope it doesn't happen. I told you this yesterday. I hope it doesn't happen again, because life isn't about not making mistakes. It's about not making the same mistakes. They made the mistake last year with Brandon AIYUK. And here it comes again, if he's going to just sit there and say, I'm not going to participate till I get a new contract. And here's the one thing we don't know either, and nobody asked, and I'd like to know the answer to this question, and it probably would have been shut down rather quickly. Is he looking for a bump? Is he looking for a major redo? Because a bump is from $7.5 million to 10, right? If that's the deal, then fine, we'll just do that. Because right now you're our number one receiver. So okay, you're in the last year, your deal at $7.5 million. If we give you a bump to 10 or 12, okay, that's fine. That's not a lot. For me or you, that's a ton of money. But in an NFL sense, all right, apples to apples, that's not a huge thing. But if he's looking to go to $15 or $20 million, then there's a problem, because they don't want to do that. They don't think, and I don't think, and probably you don't think, he's a $20 million guy. That's why they just got rid of Deebo. Now look, Jennings is either leveling out or still going up, where I think Deebo, and I think they think Deebo is going like this. He's going down. But they just got out of a $23 million a year contract with Deebo. Not so they could turn around and pay Jauan Jennings $20 million. They just decided in their head, hey, we just got a first-round pick, and we don't want to put that many assets in the wide receiver room. That's why they did that with Deebo, or part of the reason they did it with Deebo. So now they're going to turn around and put $20 million in another wide receiver. They don't want to do that. So if you want to bump, it's going to happen. That's okay. If he doesn't practice today, that means he wants a major redo of the contract, and the 49ers don't want to do that, and there might be a long road ahead. So we're going to find that out, and I'll find that out for you, and make sure that you're following me on X at John Lund Radio. And then later today, I'll do more from Santa Clara, and we'll talk more about this. So that's the big thing today. The number one thing will still be, okay, PEARSALL's not going to practice today. AIYUK's a ways off, and I think he'll probably start the year on the PUP and miss the first 4. But the big story, number one on the list today, will be, will Jauan Jennings practice? And I just get the sense from how short John Lynch was with the media when kind of pressed a little bit on Jennings' situation is, we love him. We love him. But his cry, love him. But it's love him. So obviously there's some contention there. You can just tell. So I could be wrong, but that's just what it looked like to me. Then the number 2 story, I think, today is going to be all about defense. My good friend Vic Tafer, who I haven't seen since I was doing pre, half, and post with the Raiders from a parking lot in Oakland, from the Coliseum in Oakland. And Vic's a great guy, and I can't wait to see him. But Vic writes today, 49ers defense could have 8 starting jobs up for grabs at training camp. 8. Bosa, Warner, Demo, the rest up for grabs. Think about that. I mean, there's Bosa, there's Warner, there's Demo. That's it. He's saying there's 8. So let's look in the base. All right, let's look at the base. And I just kind of scribbled on them. Okay, that's Mikael Williams, maybe. That's Elliott, maybe. Because, I mean, look at that grade. 47 what? Collins, maybe. All right, Bosa, yep. Demo, yep. Not Renardo Green's in his second year. He must be saying that. I think that's nailed down. Winters, maybe. Again, Martin, maybe. The 2 safeties until Mustafa comes back. Mustafa's in, but, Brown, I don't know. Pinnock, really? He had one of the worst grades, PFF grades, against the pass last year. All right, so the only guys who are down absolutely are, Demo, and then you see these big numbers from Warner and Bosa. So there's 3 spots, absolutely. And then the one we're missing here, so that you're looking at these red marks, 3, 5, 7. You're like, where's the 8th? Where's the 8th spot? It's here. Because the nickel spot right there, that's Stout, the rookie, the 3rd-round pick. So the nickel spot is open too. So you got 8 spots. He's right. By the way, if you don't know Vic Tafer, you're going to love him. He was right for the Raiders for years. Vic is awesome. So anyway, he's right. There's 8 spots open on the defense. Look at that. You see 7 right there, plus the nickel spot that would go right here. So 3 of the 4 spots along the defensive line, 2 of the 3 spots of the linebackers, 2 spots here, and he's even probably putting this spot up for grabs. Trey Brown's not taking that away from Renardo Green. But the nickel spot is open. Because I don't know, is Upton Stout going to take that spot? I don't know. Maybe, or maybe that's going to be Trey Brown, but Trey Brown's hurt all the time. So I don't know. So anyway, 8 spots defensively are open. When's the last time that happened with the 49ers? I don't know, 2017 or 18 or something like that. I mean, it's been a while. So anyway, that's wild. So that's going to be another conversation point today. Defensively, and Robert Saleh, and that's going to be a big discussion point. So anyway, that's what's going on as far as the 49ers are concerned. Those are the day one. So John and Kyle, wide receivers, day one stories. Is Jauan Jennings practicing today? That's going to be huge. Wide receivers in general. Watkins, Jordan Watkins, the rookie out of Ole Miss, ran a 4.37 at the combine. Everybody was excited about him. Rookies who are running around in shorts and everything. Okay, let's see. Everybody says 𝐬𝐮𝐿 is, looking great. All right. I don't know how many 5'9", 175-pound guys are kicking ass in the NFL, but that's great in shorts. Watkins, you look great in shorts. Now the pads come on, and guys are going to chuck you and grab you and be physical with you. Let's see. Let's see what 𝐬𝐿 has. Let's see what Watkins has, because guess what, guys? And Brock Purdy said this yesterday in his podium session. These guys now can step up. There is no AIYUK today. There is no PEARSALL today. There probably isn't going to be a Jennings today. Here's your chance. Brock Purdy is throwing to you. You have an opportunity right now that you're not going to get when those guys, you're going to be second or third string. Right now, Watkins can get a spot. Right now, 𝐬𝐿 can really impress. Like, here it is, man. It's right in front of you. There's no other guys really out there. They signed Amon-Ra St. Brown's brother. He's a camp body to me. So, to me, 𝐬𝐿 right now, step up. Jordan Watkins, show that you're just not, an OTAs guy in shorts. Those are the big storylines today. I want to see that. You can't, I don't know, offensive line, whatever. Defensive line, you can start to learn a little bit, but it's about defense today, man. Who's going to step up defensively? I'm going to be looking at defensive backs today. You can't learn a ton about the defensive line, really. I mean, they're going to be doing some drills, this, that, and the other. So anyway, that's what's going on today as far as the 49ers. And again, on my way down, if you just joined us, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm on my way down to training camp, so we got to keep it short today. I got to get out of here in about 10 minutes. So I'm going to try to get through, and then we'll do a show later to make up for the short show, but I'm heading down to Santa Clara. So if you're like, why are you on early, dude? I've got my clock set. Well, you're not supposed to be on right now. We're heading down early, so I got to get out of here in about 10 minutes. I'm heading down to Santa Clara, and who knows what the traffic is like. Let me do a quick shot on the Giants. They win. The Giants win 9-0. Devers at first base, but I just looked at their lineup today. Here's their lineup for the Gigantes for the finale in Atlanta. Ramos in left, Devers DHing, Adames at short, Chapman at third, 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐜𝐫𝐢 right, Schmidt at second. By the way, I owe someone an apology if they're not in the room. Mark it for the record. Schmidt hit a homer after I go. He's not the answer. Now, short term, I owe an apology. Long term, we'll see. Dominic Smith back at first base, Bailey catching, Matos in center. That'll be an adventure. And our best friend, Justin Verlander, is pitching today. Can he get his first win? I wouldn't bet on it. 9:15. Oh, my God, is that an early start? Anyway, so the Gigantes playing today. Devers at first was a success. If you missed us talking about it, Devers liked being in the field. I'd put him out there, man, because he said right after the game, it's hard on him because remember, he wasn't a DH a lot in Boston. He played third base. And he liked it. He was like, look, it's great being part of the gang. It's great being part of the team, not just being a hitter. He said it. Look, I'd put him out there, man. I'd put him out there today. I don't know if he's tired, sore, whatever the case may be. Maybe they're giving him a day off, but I'd keep him out there. So that's just my thought on that whole thing. Let me share my screen with you very quickly here. Jeff Passan has a trade idea on the Giants. And again, they won 9-0. It doesn't change my opinion. They might be sellers. But here is Jeff Passan's idea for a trade. First of all, he's saying they could trade Tyler Rogers. Excuse my French. Fuck no. They're not trading Tyler Rogers, man. I know he's in the last year of his contract. You're not trading Tyler Rogers. No. Unless you're getting huge value. First of all, let's give props to Landon Roupp. I should have started with that. Landon Rupp's been awesome lately, so he's the third starter. Zach Littell, wasn't he the guy that he came off the mound and he got in a bit of a tiff with Mr. Universe, the former manager? I mean, I'm pretty sure. But Tampa give Tampa credit. Zach Littell was just an okay reliever of the Giants. But then Tampa made him a starter, and he's got a 3.63 ERA. The last 2 years, Littell's been a decent starter for Tampa, but it just doesn't make me overly excited. So he could be a 4 starter, and then whomever could be the 5th starter. So he says the best fit is Zach Littell, who you wouldn't have to give up much for. But if you're scratching your head going, Zach Littell, yeah, he was kind of a middling reliever for the Giants, but this year he's 8-7 with a 3.63 ERA, and for the last 2 years he's been a starter, and he hasn't been really bad. As he puts up right here, blah, 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 blah. Littell, who's not a standout name, but throws strikes, gobbles innings, blah, blah, blah. With his propensity to give up home runs, would benefit strongly from playing in Oracle Park. He doesn't even mention that he's already played at Oracle Park. I'm not sure if Jeff Passan realizes that, but that doesn't excite me. That doesn't excite me whatsoever. So is Zach Littell going to be the difference between the Giants making the playoffs and not? I doubt it. But that's what he says. So I'm not overly excited about Zach Littell, but those are the kind of trades that sometimes work out. I mean, now that Roupp has taken hold of the third spot, he wouldn't be the worst thing. But if let's say that they got a Zach Littell, okay, that's fine. But I think they still need another stick or a reliever out of the bullpen. But I'm not trading Rogers. No chance. I'm not trading Rogers, man. No chance. No chance. Look at 𝐃𝐨𝐧'𝐭, man. I don't know that I've seen 𝐃𝐨𝐧'𝐭, but it is great to see you. The voice still going great. Thank you, my friend. Very nice to see you. Stay around. Please subscribe. Everybody, welcome 𝐃𝐨𝐧'𝐭. 𝐃𝐨𝐧'𝐭. Say hello to 𝐃𝐨𝐧'𝐭 if you would. It is nice to see you, my friend. Yeah, I didn't dislike Littell. He was on our show all the time, and if I remember right, he was funny as hell. I think he's like from North Carolina or something like that. I'm not opposed to bringing him back. I'm just saying, like, okay, if you bring back a Littell, that's fine. He can be the 4th starter. I just want, hello, Naomi. It is great to see you. I just want something else too. But, I'm probably greedy, to be honest with you. I'm probably greedy, to be 100% honest with you. So there you go. Let me do this. This will put you in a great mood. Maybe you woke up cranky or something like that. You want to be put in a great mood. Okay, the exit velocity on this hit last night against the Dodgers, and the Twins win this game, by the way. Exit velocity 58 miles per hour. Bases loaded. Twins up 6-5, and this clears the bases. This will put you in a better mood.
Check swing tapper, first base line. It's going to bounce. Enriquez bobbles, throws away into right field. Keep that arm going, Tommy Watkins. 2 runs are in. Walther's going to score. Lewis will stop at third base. Walks, miscues. Twins capitalize. It's 9-5.
Okay, we got to play this again. It was amazing. Exit velocity 58 miles an hour.
Check swing tapper, first base
Watch
line.
this
It's
throw.
going to bounce. Enriquez bobbles, throws away
Right field.
into right field.
Bases were loaded.
Keep that arm going, Tommy Watkins. 2 runs are in. Walther's going to score. Lewis will stop at third base. Walks, miscues. Twins capitalize. It's 9-5.
So he got a triple out of that, kind of like Little League, cleared the bases, and they win. Ohtani did hit a home run later in that game, but it cleared the bases, so there you go. Dodgers goof. Ozzy died right when we got off the air yesterday. I mean, again, this is the second day in a row where it was like a few days ago, it was Malcolm Jamal Warner minutes after we went off the air, and then yesterday it was Ozzy. Has anyone, by the way, that's a great headline. That's all, folks. Has anyone died? I'm not going to say better, but I mean, he abused his body his whole life. So 76, that's amazing that he lived past the average for a man. And then the Black Sabbath concert, the super concert was like 2 weeks ago. They raised like $140 million for various charities. And he's in the throne, he's singing. It wasn't, obviously the greatest performance, but I mean, for him to go out the way he did and all the icons that were on the stage and everything, and he goes out and then 2 weeks later, he's gone. I mean, that's a pretty damn good exit stage left. You got to admit. So some people, you cry when they die. Some people you just go, wow. I mean, he lived a hell of a life. So anyway, Ozzy Osbourne passes away at the age of 76. All right, there you go. I want to make sure I hit everybody before I get out of here today. And again, the reason why we started at 8 a.m. and the reason why we're leaving so quickly today is I've got to get down to 49ers training camp. And so if you missed anything, go back. I played John and Kyle from yesterday talking about the wide receivers. I will have more from you from Santa Clara. I'm bringing my big backpack with everything, and I will give you day one highlights. I'll try to grab somebody from down there, maybe Krug or somebody, and we'll try to do a show from down there and give you full highlights. The number one story is going to be, okay, Jauan Jennings has reported, is Jauan Jennings going to actually participate in camp? Not in meetings, in camp. Is he going to be a hold-in like last year, like Brandon AIYUK was? Is it going to be that same whole drama again? And to me, what it means is, are they going to revamp his contract, which I think they'll do? $7.5 million. The situation is he's going to be their number one receiver, at least until AIYUK comes back. So the 7.5 to maybe 10, 11, 12 million. I could see that. But if he's thinking, hey, man, I want 20, the Niners are like, we just offloaded a guy in Deebo Samuel who's making 20. We don't want to put those kind of resources into the room. And then there's going to be a problem, and this is going to be a long thing. And we're going to, very simply, it's going to be really easy to tell. If he's not out there today, that means he wants a lot of money, and this could be a long thing. If he's out there today, it means he just wants an adjustment in his contract. It's kind of like McCaffrey last year. They gave him an adjustment in his deal. Okay, he's back. If he wants a whole lot of money, a big deal, like in the 20 million range, he's not going to be out there today. And it's going to be pretty simple. And just by the very nature of John Lynch was very short when it came to Jauan Jennings, it just gives me a sense that this may be an issue. But we'll see today. He's either out there and, okay, they're working on it, and it's going to be relatively quick, or if he's not out there today, it could be ugly. And hopefully it's not like last year where it leads to just a bunch of weird stuff. So we shall see. Joe Schmo, it is great to see you. Konnichiwa, Joji. John Joseph, it is great to see you. I'm sorry that I've got to be so quick today, but like I said, who knows what traffic's going to be like going down to Santa Clara today. Yeah, Keith Richards is going to outlive them all. I mean, that's just what it comes down to, man. I don't know he's getting blood transfusions, I'm sure. AJ, it is great to see you, my friend. It is great to see you. Cheers to you. Like I said, Naomi is here. I think I said good morning to Joy, but I can't say it enough. 49ers faithful, it is good to see you. It is great to see everybody this morning. Like I said, I'm sorry that I had to come in early, but we're going to do this today, tomorrow, and Friday just because I've got to head off to Santa Clara and get us the coverage for 49ers stuff today. Pinwheel, it is great to see you. Scott, good morning to you, my friend. It is great to see everybody this morning. I got to jump, but I will do a show later from Santa Clara and give you the stuff from Santa Clara. DC, it is a great morning to see you as well. So again, I will jump. Storylines, wide receivers today. Jauan Jennings, will he practice defensively? As Vic Tafur says, 8 jobs potentially up for grabs. So we will give you the update on everything. Day 1 from camp. Keep those alerts on because I'm going to send out a bunch of stuff today from camp. We'll have another quick show from Santa Clara and give you an update on day 1. What else do we got going today? Make sure those alerts on. Please give us a like before you get out of here today. If you missed anything, just go back to the beginning of the show. We played some John and Kyle from yesterday, mostly just the first few minutes on the wide receivers. We gave you a little bit on the Giants. They win 9-0, and they've got another game coming up today. What else? Anything else on the chalkboard that we didn't hit? I think that's it. So, again, we will jump today, and we will see you a little bit later on today as we give you a report live from training camp and Santa Clara. And do remember, we'll do this the next 3 days, 8 o'clock start Pacific on today, tomorrow, and Friday as we give you reports from Santa Clara and training camp.
Thanks for hanging out with John Lund Unleashed. We'll try to be better next time, though I wouldn't hold my breath. Please like and subscribe on the John Lund Unleashed Pod YouTube channel. Watch live shows weekdays at 8 a.m. on YouTube, Instagram, and X. And make sure to have your alerts on for shows throughout the day or night. All things Lund can be found at johnlundunleashed.com. johnlundunleashed.com.
Goodbye!